So I got tagged by Clearly Canadian. I'm gonna say soft tagged by Clearly Canadian for the Show Me Your Coffee. I think it's a YouTube challenge. First time I've ever been tagged, so I'm out here doing it. So I think the way this challenge works is I was tagged for Show Me Your Coffee. I then at the end of this will tag 3 other channels. Drip coffee is so much better than instant, isn't it? Especially out in the woods. Everything's better out in the woods. All right. Take my coat off. It's getting warmer now that that wind died down. So my channel is located here in Colorado. Most of my trips are in the Colorado area, Front Range, all the way over to New Mexico, sometimes Texas, occasionally California. I lived out in California for about 10 years, so I'm very familiar with the Angeles forest. But a lot of my trips are here in Colorado. You know, the types of videos that I try to do here, guys, is pretty much anything outdoors. I love backpacking. I love car camping. I'd rather backpack, but I do both. With the family, we typically car camp. I have a family of 5. I have 3 sons. Car camping's an easier go, but we have backpacked with all 5 of us. I also have gear reviews, DIY equipment. I hunt. I'm an aspiring hunter. No gore in my videos, though. I'm just trying to talk about acquiring food on my own, recovering lost skill sets. I wasn't raised in a hunting family, so it's something that as an adult onset hunter is incredibly difficult to learn. You have to learn about plants, vegetation. That might be the same 2 things I just said. Environment, food sources, where do animals go at what times of year? What's the moon cycle going to do to you? Crazy things you never think about when you get into hunting, but it tunes you into nature in a different way. Also, conservation's incredibly important, guys. As Americans, here in North America, we have public land. We are all public land owners. And hunters, hikers, campers, we all share common goals. We all share common playgrounds. And we need to take care of it ourselves, guys. We've got to bridge the gap together. I had no idea how many people hate hunters who hike and how many hunters can't stand peak baggers. It's such animosity that doesn't need to be there. And hopefully we can start bridging that gap, get on the same page because conservation's important. Our money's going towards it, and it's the same goal. And I love being out in it, guys. I have now been hunting for about 3 years in a couple different states. This past fall, had my first success by myself in a public land setting with a turkey. I got a wild turkey by myself. It's vacuum sealed in my freezer right now, and I think I'm gonna be making some tacos out of the legs and probably just cooking the breast. We'll see. So the reason I started filming this channel, guys, or putting videos on this channel, the first video I ever did was 2016. And the reason is sentimental. So my father passed away when I was 17 years old. I have lived over half my life without him now. But thankfully, he was somewhat well known in small little circles. And anytime I want to hear his voice or anytime I want to see him, I can Google my father and see some videos of him or listen to him talking. And it's nice to have that. It's something that I've taken for granted and I've started to realize as I get older, not everybody has. In 2016, my uncle, who was my dad's younger brother, the middle of 3 bros, he passed away as well, and that one hurt. You know, he was a surrogate father to me pretty much. He has 3 kids. He was a great guy. He was also very private for professional reasons. When my uncle died, I went and Googled him, couldn't find a single video, and that was intentional. There's reasons for that. But I wanted to hear his voice. I wanted to see him, and I wasn't able to. So that year is when I posted my first video. It was out in California. It was Mount Baldy. Solo backpacking on Mount Baldy in the Angeles forest. I lived in San Dimas at the time, and I posted that video just for posterity. to have it up online so my kids someday, if they ever needed to, could Google me and have my voice on there. I mean, that's literally why I did it. Those early videos sucked. I might have put 1 or 2 out a year, and it was just shaky, like, you know, phone, that I would later try to stabilize with apps so that everything looked warped, you know, as you're watching it. And had fun doing it, was just documenting the trips. I wasn't really thinking about watching them later. I was just, if something cool happened, throw out the phone. So moved out here 2 years ago to Colorado, moved back to Colorado 2 years ago. Have had a lot more chances to get outside and do cool things. Now that I'm here, I started posting videos regularly almost 10 months ago. So it's been a little less than a year now, posting videos regularly. I think I had 18 subscribers when I first started posting videos, and now I'm up to about 400 something. So been a lot of fun to see the growth. Not as huge as some channels out there, but again, I had 20 subscribers after 3 years, and now I have a few hundred. So it's so fun to see the growth, but also the interactions with you guys, right? The tips, talking back and forth, ribbing sometimes. It's a lot of fun. It's a community that I'm glad to be a part of. This is public land, Colorado. Thankfully, there's no fire bans right now. It was pretty dry a couple weeks ago, and fire restrictions were on high. I wouldn't have been able to use that stove. I would have had to use a canister. But right now we've got some moisture. The ground's pretty wet. No risk of burning anything. And my take on right now, guys, is it's just interesting to watch, right? This is all unfolding. 3 months ago, and right now it's the end of March, almost April. April 1st will be in a few days. Hopefully it's a joke, right? I can remember 3 months ago, though, you could watch other countries, right, dealing with this this virus that we're dealing with, coronavirus, Wuhan flu, if you will. It's crazy to watch. You could watch the progression as it moved through the countries, right? You could see the panic buying, everything that we're starting to go through now. You could see it in advance. You knew it was coming, right? There's people who've been prepping and survivalists who right now are at the peak of their game because they might actually have to put that stuff into use. We all might have to put that stuff into use. I always say that if you give an American, the average person in America, a live chicken, just give them a live chicken and say, hey, tonight, can you cook me some dinner with this? We don't know what to do. We can't process that. We're not going to know how to. I mean, some people do, and a lot of people watching this probably do actually, but the average person doesn't know how to process a chicken. We've lost that skill set. I was talking to my mom yesterday. She actually works for the Smithsonian Museum out in DC. She was talking about how we may start going back to cooking like we did in the 1940s, right? In the 30s and beyond, or before all this time of convenience, because right now, trade is stopped. Kraft Foods, guys, has 1 plant left. Did you see that? Kraft Foods has 1 plant left making mac and cheese. Once that closes down, better make it yourself. Meanwhile, all that crap's going on out there, freaking out, can't get toilet paper, really bad things, guys. I mean, we had over 500 deaths yesterday, or 2 days ago here in America. I don't even know what yesterday was. It's growing very, very quickly. But I hear birds. Turkeys are gobbling. There's still a lot to be thankful for, even though this is going on. It can be hard to remember it. And I had forgotten it, guys. I've been in my house now for 2 weeks. We are under restricted movement in Colorado, or what is it called? I don't remember. But we're under like a mild quarantine in Colorado. You can still go out for necessities, some basic exercise like I'm doing right now, hiking several miles to get here, lots of good exercise, not a single person in sight, thank God. And in that time I've been inside, guys, I didn't realize it, but I almost had gotten depressed somewhat inside. No sun, make sure you're taking vitamin D, as they say. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think it could get really bad. To echo Clearly Canadian's video, if you go watch his stuff, guys, nice stuff, good videos. A good person will do incredibly bad things to save their children. A good person will do things they normally won't do to feed their children. We've got to remember that. And if things get rough, guys, community is going to be important. Treating people the right way is important. But also being ready to protect yourself is important, right? Having food, if you can, anything you can put away. Man, I'm not sure what else to talk about, but I'll say thank you to Clearly Canadian for getting me outside, getting me out here in wilderness. Need to get out here a little bit more often. We probably all do. I'm not an expert in what to do when you're in a house under quarantine, guys, but like I say, I wish everyone the best of luck. Try to focus on, we have to, I guess, I have to focus on things that are positive. I can't think about everything going on because it gets a little overwhelming, right? So this challenge, I'm pretty sure, was started originally by a guy named Lone Wolf 902. Someone who I'd never heard of, but now I'm subscribed to his channel. His challenge has worked, apparently. The 3 people I'm going to tag in this video are Hike Camp, Henning Outdoors, and Hike with Mike. So you 3 guys, I'll send you little notes or I'll shoot you a blast on YouTube. If you want to do this video and take part in the challenge, by all means jump in. You then can do the challenge, mention that I gave you the tag, and then tag 3 other people as well. If you don't want to do it, by all means don't. Who cares? All right, guys, well, I'm wrapping it up here. Finished my coffee. Time to hike back to the car, I think. Was hoping a turkey was going to gobble. That would have been the perfect ending.